All right, quiet on the set.
All right, got you.
This weekend SEC football promo. Take 2. Hey there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It's your guy, Mr. Fingaz, coming to you live from Zagnif Central.
Hey, and I'm Collin P., your brother from another. What it is, Showbiz?
I will tell you what it is, Showbiz. You guys, welcome to this week's edition of This Week in SEC Football. But before we get started, do us a little favor. If you're watching us on the YouTube, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button if you have not done so already. We appreciate you much. And if you want to be a contributor to the show, a little something to help the cause, right down there in the bottom, in the lower third, in the crawl, rolling across your screen is the address for our Patreon page. We got some great perks for those of you that are contributors and regular viewers of the show, because we appreciate you so very, very much. So, Collin, my man, I think it's time to get this show started. What you say?
My man, let's lay the hammer down.
Oh, you know we gonna do something before 2 something. Club Shay coming right at you right after this. Oh, hello, ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls.
What Bama does, what Bama do. They were giving Alabama like Alabama was this. And Alabama didn't lose their 2 stars.
Did not show up that day, or was it?
You watch the same
It's offense more like I've noticed it's more of a passing.
Hey, who knows? It might have been, might have not been. Who knows? But then again, that's why they call it football. I mean,
oh man, that's definitely going on the blooper reel.
When you do that voice, I think of Norbert. Oh my God, we have a dandelion encrusted rib.
And we are live. Hello. How are you doing? People in the cheap seats, y'all all right? Fellas, y'all good? Little hashtag Erica Badu throwback for you there. Welcome to this week's edition of This Week in SEC Football. I am the very, very, very vocally hoarse Mr. Fingaz, coming to you from Zagnif Central. That fellow over there is the brother from another, the sexy mother Hubbard, the ace of base in the place in your face. I am very happy to be here. Collin P. from the DMV. What's good with you, baby boy?
Hey man, what it is, showbiz. Does it sound like you're a little bit tired, my friend?
Yeah, you seem like I just saw you. And today, yes, sir. And today we have joining us a special guest down there in the spot where Bobby Brady normally would be if we was a 9x9, the host of every other damn football show on Facebook, the one and only Mr. Sean Spencer. How you doing, sir?
What's going on, gentlemen? How we doing tonight?
Oh man, I'm feeling pretty good. How about yourself, sir?
Always good. Always glad to talk football.
Man, fellas, I just, before we even get into it, I just got to say it was good to see y'all this weekend, man. It was good to get together. Maybe we didn't break no bread, I don't drink, but it was just good to get together with y'all and dap up and be like, hey man, it's very good to see you. I have been looking for you. Since the revolution. Have you seen T'Challa? I cannot find him anywhere. In Bombay. But good times had by all. I was in Virginia last week, Thursday evening, all day Friday, all day Saturday, and a little part of Sunday. Well, I pretty much was on my way to the airport. That part of Sunday, I was in town. Got to see Collin on Thursday at the Backyard Grill. Got to see my man Sean at Old Shabine. And we had some good times, man. We had some really good times.
Absolutely, man. Good to see you. I can't believe it's been that long since I haven't seen you. How many years has it been? It's been quite a minute, right?
Well, it's been 3 days now, but
I meant since you were back to Nova.
Oh, 3 years ago.
Okay.
I started singing Sinead O'Connor, but I ain't even got the voice for it. Man, I seriously forgot how much the toll that takes on your voice having to do that over and over and over again. And that's the first time I did it in 3 years. So it literally, when I got to work this morning, my voice was still doing this. And I was on the plane. The lady came and said, "Would you like something to drink, sir?" And I said, "I would like Coca-Cola." She was like, "Sir, you got to speak up." And I was like, the guy next to me was like, he said he wants a Coke. The man lost his voice. He said, "Oh, I'm so sorry." She brought me one. But it was really, really good. I missed being in Virginia. I did not realize how crazy the roads have become.
Oh, yeah.
66, what they're doing is 66, and then they got on 50, they got a split off for 50 and 66, and the sheer number of high rises that they have built in the last 3 years is amazing. I think they're basically trying to turn Virginia into DC South.
Yeah,
because it's like every place there used to be a shopping center that was going out of business, now it's a high rise. Like Fairfax Circle. Have either of you been through Fairfax lately and seen Fairfax Circle?
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah, well, you remember Patriots though, right, Collin?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, that whole shopping center is nothing but high rises now with an Amazon market store there, like the grocery store, and a couple of coffee shops. But yeah, all in all, good time had by all. It's good to see some folks. I'm gonna have to come back and come back again real soon because there's a lot of people that I wanted to see that I didn't get to see. I don't know what the hell I was thinking I was going to see everybody that I knew in Northern Virginia in 72 hours. That just did not work out. The math was not mathing. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this week in SEC football, this week we are discussing that team from Baton Rouge, the team that 3 years ago took everybody by storm, captured the nation's heart with their very colorful coach, who now is no longer the coach, and their very charismatic quarterback who managed to take his team in his first full season all the way to the Super Bowl in Joe Burrow, as one of the ladies from the football team like to refer to him as Mr. Smokey Smooth. Yes, indeed, we're talking about the Bayou Bengals, y'all. We're talking about the LSU Tigers. So we know that last year was not the greatest of years for them. They wound up having to let Coach O go. He did not make he wound up not coaching he wound up not coaching. I think he coached all the way to the end of the season. I don't think they got bowl eligible. I don't think he coached the bowl game.
Yeah.
And now they have a new coach from Notre Dame, and Brian Kelly, who is coming from Notre Dame, and he's definitely been on a recruiting warpath. He's been picking up a lot of high speed, low drag recruits. Picking up a lot of high speed, low drag recruits, and showing a lot of promise this year. I mean, his regime kind of got off to a little bit of a shaky start with his whole affected Southern accent, but since then he's been trying to do some big things. So they're hoping for big things down in Baton Rouge. And Sean, since you are our guest today, this is where I come to you and push it your way. So what have you seen so far that stands out to you? And I apologize, fellas. I'm probably going to have y'all doing most of the talking because I am going to lose my voice again in about another 15 minutes.
Yeah, no, I don't. I'm coming fresh off the boat on this one. You guys just told me we were talking LSU. Honestly, I mean, as long as you got a team coached by Brian Kelly, minus the new accent that he apparently acquired on the way to Louisiana, Brian Kelly, he's won everywhere he's been. We've seen what he's done in Notre Dame, taking the team to two CFPs. Obviously, we know they lost in the title game, the famous Monte Teo story. Ladies and gentlemen, check that out. You definitely have to check that out. It's a real interesting story all the way through. But Brian Kelly has really built up a program, and in such a way that even after he leaves, the guy that's taking over for him has got a pretty solid program going right now. So, things are looking good. He's lost some pieces. Ty Davis-Price got drafted. He lost Corey Kiner to the transfer portal. You guys talked about some of the guys that he's bringing back, but then you also talk about the guy that just got suspended indefinitely and the guy they got suspended running backs. Noah Kane, I'll default to you, Collin, on him. I've seen him a lot and the University of Penn State, kind of similar to like an Alfred Morris, if you remember him playing in Washington.
Alf.
Solid back, can get you some solid yards, and 5'10", 208. But Collin, what do you think of him? Because I like him, but I'm eager to see. He didn't get as many reps at Penn State, and I'm eager to see what he can do at LSU.
Yeah, I mean, he's projected to actually take, since John Emery, the projected starting running back for LSU, has been suspended for kind of an overhang from last year's academic troubles he's been going through. Those 2 games that he's suspended is actually, I guess the first game is they're at FSU, and the second game is Southern University, so I don't think it's going to cause them too much problem. But going to Noah Cain, he had 790 yards and 12 touchdowns. He started 8 games, and he had a total of 24 games he appeared in. He had actually pretty good stats there. So, I mean, I think he's going to be a good I don't know if he's going to take the place of John Emery once he comes back, in a timely fashion. But I think he'll be a good placeholder in the meantime. I'm anxious to see, like as yourself, how he'll progress throughout the season.
Absolutely.
Excuse me. Well, oh my God, it's happening. It's happening. It's happening live. This is not good. Y'all, for those of y'all that are watching, I apologize for my voice. 72 hours of talking and singing and rapping definitely took its toll on your boy's throat. So my voice is trying to go. I don't even welcome to this week in SEC football. We are discussing the LSU Tigers and what they've got going on this year. As you just heard, we talked about John Emery being suspended. And it looks like what he's being suspended for is something that's an overhang from last season. So it's not like something that popped up now during camp that they're going to be like, okay, well, you're going to sit for a couple of games.
Yeah, and it's kind of minuscule in the grand scheme of things. Like, he's 3 hours short of the hours that he needs to be academic eligible. And I think he actually tried to do it during the summer months, summer school or what have you. But he had some family issues. I think his grandfather had COVID. He was in the hospital, and I believe it had something to do else with his mother or something. It was family caused incidents. So I mean, I think that's where he might be able to. His attorney and family have been trying to get this overturned, and he may be able to get this overturned before the season starts. I don't know, but at the worst case scenario, he'll lose those. He'll miss those first 2 games.
Yeah. Now, looking at the first 2 games in the schedule, we're looking at that first one. They might definitely need him because they're taking on Florida State. Now they're playing Southern the following week. I don't want to write Southern. Yeah, I don't. I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm not sleeping on them. I'm not sleeping on them. You don't ever want to write anybody off, but you're talking about again. You're talking LSU versus Southern. But of the teams that you definitely don't want to write off, if I can think of any 3 HBCUs, would be Southern, South Carolina State, Jackson State, and maybe throw in Albany State as well. Because last year Savannah State finished the season 8-1, and then went into the playoffs, and Albany State just beat them like they weren't even there. So those are 2 games that he definitely could come in handy. But I mean, if out of the 2, it'd definitely be a determining factor in that Florida State game if they can't get that run game going. Excuse me. Moving on here, we're going to keep it moving. The news broke earlier this week that quarterback Myles Brennan decided that he was going to enter the transfer portal. It was pretty much determined that he wasn't going to be a starting quarterback. So he entered the transfer portal. I don't really know how to feel about that. Well, I have my own personal thoughts. My own personal thoughts are, best man available. 100% of the time, best man available, and no spot is safe. Especially when it comes to college ball. You could be the hottest thing going one season and wind up being replaced by somebody else the following season. We saw it happen last season in Oklahoma with Spencer Rattler being benched for Caleb Williams. So, how are we feeling about that, fellas? Collin, I'm going to bring this your way.
Yeah, I mean, with him, from what I read, there's other factors. I believe it's just being reported that he didn't get a starting job was the main reason why he's hanging up the cleats. But I don't know if you guys remember, but he took a midsection shot against Arkansas last year that he never seemed to come back from, and it was always a nagging injury, and that could be part of why he hasn't been showing up like he normally could or has been. But yeah, I think that plays a bigger part than what they're reporting. But it is kind of a shot to not get the starting job when you're expecting it. But they got the two other quarterbacks. We got Daniels and Nessmeyer. Nessmeyer is the freshman that actually came in for Brennan for a little while. He did all right. And then you got Daniels coming from Arizona State, and he did okay at Arizona State, but he had like a 10 touchdown, 10 interception ratio, so that leaves a lot to be desired. So you don't know what he's going to bring to the table this year. So it's just they don't know who the starting job is going to go to, either Daniels or Nessmeyer. So that would be something interesting to see who's going to win that job.
Yeah, and according to some reports that I've been reading, one story in particular that I read, Brian Kelly is really impressed with Jaden Daniels. There's an acronym that he uses called CLAP. He said when he's in the huddle, the guys pay attention. And CLAP, I'm familiar with because it's a military acronym. You have to be clear, loud, as in order, and pause. And he says that he exemplifies all of these. Jaden Daniels exemplifies all of those moving parts to come together. And he also brings his 3 years of starting experience prior to coming to LSU. So not only that, not only is he impressing in camp, he's also got the go away. That thing does that to me sometimes. I'm sorry, but not only does he have that presence in the huddle, he's also got that out of the potential starting quarterbacks. He's got that game time experience, and sometimes there's a lot that natural talent can't overcome game time experience in some cases.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to say. I'm sorry to interrupt, but so Nessmeyer basically has more arm strength. I mean, it's kind of reminiscent of the whole Stetson Bennett argument. Nessmeyer's got the bigger arm, the better arm, and what have you. But then again, you got Daniels being the 3 years experience, and what you said that he's impressing Brian Kelly. So let's just see what happens. Sorry about that.
We know about that whole thing with Stetson Bennett too, don't we? Go Dogs, by the way. We still the returning national champions. Better put some respect on our name. I'm just saying, I'm willing to lose my voice in the middle of my show to say that.
I hope they don't play like how your voice sounds.
Right.
You
better be lucky I don't have much of a voice because I'm.
What was that?
Uncle Shay said go get you.
I can't hear you. Would you?
You know what? But there we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there we go. This week SEC football.
Where'd Bobby go?
You're not the only one that knows how to do that, sir. Hey, Nathan, what's good with you, man? Thank you for watching. Nathan Snell, the guy has just about cornered the market in podcasts in WNBA, like full-on coverage, three shows. 2-3 shows a day. But man, it's definitely doing big things. Thank you for watching the show, brother. Hope you had a good weekend, sir. Okay, all right. Well, I'm gonna let y'all talk amongst yourselves for a minute about this quarterback situation while I get myself some high quality H2O.
High quality H2O. All right, well, y'all lay it on us. What you think, man?
Honestly, at the end of the day, we have to remember that Jaden Daniels was a stud. I mean, this is the first freshman to ever start at Arizona State at quarterback. You know what I mean? And if we know who's at Arizona State, that's Herm Edwards, NFL-type coach. That says something about this guy. This guy has that game experience. And when you look back at the spring game, he just looked comfortable. He looked Like the first play right out the bat, they pressured him. He made a move, got out the pocket, and obviously because it's just touch. I mean, he would have taken it to the house, but obviously it's touch. So as soon as they touch, they whistle him down and everything of that nature. So, I mean, honestly, it looks like he's gonna one that's gonna move up. Obviously, the freshman got the arm, very true, but at the end of the day, it's that experience. Being able to be in there and have played and have played big name ball. Pac-12 ball is solid football. I definitely think that Daniels might be better suited for the situation. But going back to Myles Brennan, I mean, look, we got to remember this guy has played 5 seasons. You know what I mean? And I quote, he said, "I am forever grateful for for every opportunity I have been given, every obstacle I have overcome, every second I have been at Tiger." I mean, that to me sounds like somebody that he enjoyed his time. Things didn't go the way that he wanted them to go, and let me get out while I still have my head on straight, and I'm not sitting here, with my backache every single morning, everything like. We got to remember that the Joe Burrow years where it's just like he comes in for this 1 year after going somewhere else. He comes in and does it. Stetson Bennett, things like that. These are not common. Those are rare stories that come out where they're able to go somewhere and it works. It works out for them. A lot of time we see it like your boy Tate Martell. You know what I mean? Going all the different places and ended up leaving. This type of situation, I hate it. I hate because he is such a talent. We've seen what he's been able to do, but I mean, kudos to him for having his head on the shoulders and making that decision. Because look, each of us that have played ball, it's never an easy decision to walk away from it. Walk away from the fans, the camaraderie, the team, the whole nine. So to have him be able to do this, and right now with his full mind in it, kudos to him, man. Hopefully he gets to do other endeavors and whatever he likes. He will be missed, but yeah, we got it. Hey, the football, the game goes on. Unfortunately, for some, it continues to play.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just unfortunate that some people don't look at it that way, Sean. I mean, like some people think it's like, he didn't win the start job, so he's sour grapes, so he's just leaving, and that's definitely not the case. I mean, I agree with you totally. I mean, like he had the presence of mind and the smarts to say, look, man, it's not me to, I'm seeing the writing on the wall. I'd rather get out, when I can, and but yeah, absolutely agree totally.
And then, on top of that, you mentioned, that big hit he took. I mean, sometimes guys are never right after that, but they keep pushing through. And then later on, they wind up, I mean, Sean, you always like to talk about Earl Campbell and what a bruiser he was. And now, I'm pretty sure he's a guy that got shots in his legs at halftime and sitting with the ice bags on. Now he can barely walk, so sometimes it's good to just be able to say, maybe, like you said, maybe I just need to go ahead and hang it up and go ahead and see what this degree is going to do for me. And maybe I can get a job in sports journalism. One of them, I don't know. But yeah, best wishes to him in whatever endeavor he chooses to get into. And who knows, he might get snapped up someplace else and go win a conference championship. Who the heck knows? Who really knows, right?
That's right.
Well, ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you so much for joining us today on this episode of This Week in SEC Football. Right about now is a good spot for us to take a pause for the cause and show a little love to today's sponsor, Squid Rips Cards. We will be right back. Don't go nowhere. Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, Squid Rips Cards. That's our guy, Sid Swinton. He's on, let's see, let's talk fantasy football. During the off season, it's Let's Talk Football Sunday mornings. But then he's guesting on all the other different shows as well. That's the guy you need to get at if you need your football card fix. He's got you. He's on TikTok twice a week. Sean, what days is he on TikTok?
Whenever he gets a chance, as you know, he's got a young son, so it's just
Gotcha.
whenever he can get an opportunity when the son. Because Ash just went back to teaching, so
Gotcha.
she's not home all the time like she was over the summer. So it's
Yeah.
just whenever he gets a shot.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. See, I almost dropped the absolutely. I was having a conversation. Was having a conversation with our guy, Mr. Nicholas. I want the smoke Rosario, and we talked about our different catchphrases. And I think I'm averaging about 8 absolutelys a show, and I caught myself this time. I'm getting better. So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We were just talking about Myles Brennan. Myles Brennan hanging up the cleats. Jaden Daniels potentially taking over as the starting quarterback. We also did talk about running back John Emery being suspended. Um, I sorry, fellas. I just had a brain fog moment right in the middle of a soliloquy. We are back and seen. So we're gonna
Jet
move
lag.
on to yeah, we're gonna move on to this next segment here, which has become a staple of our SEC team previews here. Um, we're gonna get into projected records, but before we do that, Colin, do you have any other news that you brought to the table today about that, or is that basically
Oh no, I got
before?
to bring up the big news for LSU, man, and team players, college players in general. Hooters stepped their game up into the NIL, and they I believe they signed about 20 players, and I do believe correct. I don't know if don't quote me on the number, but 3 or 4 of them happen to come from LSU. I don't know the stats. I don't know everything about it, but Hooters dipped their toe into the NIL game. Is what I read.
Yes, they definitely did. I did run across the story this morning. It looks like Hooters is kind of trying to fill in the gap. They're kind of shooting the gap with, because we hear about all the players that we hear about um, like the kid from Miami that got the $9.5 million deal, and we hear about how DJ Ugalele last year had the $1 million deal. We hear about those guys, but we don't hear about some of these other players, and a lot of players don't get NIL deals. So it looks like Hooters is kind of just trying to step in and fill some of those gaps for those guys that won't be receiving the big dollar deals. There was another company that's offering up 36 grand per for offensive linemen.
Yeah, who
Um,
was that?
I want to. Well, God, I had it, and then it was gone. There's an air horn for Mr. Fingaz having another senior moment there. But they're trying to take care of the linemen. I believe I want to say it's the Big Ten conference. Oh my gosh. I might just have to step back and watch and let you two run the show today. That's the kind of
Mm-hmm.
day I'm having right now. Man, Virginia beat. Look, Virginia,
Put a hurting on you,
you
dude.
you owe me. Virginia owes me nothing. In 3 days, I managed to see a racketeering of people have a whole load of fun, and now I'm paying the price. God, if I still drank, it would be worse.
I was
I
going to
would
say
just,
you don't even drink, so you struggling this hard at not drinking, man. If you did,
yeah, yeah. I round about 2 o'clock because I go in from 7:30 to 3:30 now. I've adjusted my schedule a little bit. Round about 2 o'clock, I was like, man, ooh, wait a minute, hold up. I better stand up because the VP was walking around the building. I could hear him, and I was nodding off. I was like, we got those desks that you can stand up with. So I stand up and work a little bit. 3:30 came, sure. Clock out, click, click, see y'all later. Catch you.
This is
Deuces, yes, indeed. So we're gonna get into we're gonna get into the projected records for 2022. Uh Projected records for 2022. We did mention that Florida State is first first out of the chute, and this has become a good weekly segment. And that even if Sean is not on the show, he always gives us his picks. So I'm going to go ahead and get the Mr. Fingers record keeper. There we go for this week's show, and we're gonna get right on into it. So what we got? Florida State. That is their first game. Florida State visits LSU. Colin, what you got?
um, hmm, uh, Taking too long. I'm gonna go FSU on that one. I'm gonna go FSU. If it's at FSU, it might be a close game. I'm gonna go FSU this time.
You think FSU's coming back that strong this year?
I think that'll be one of their games. That might be their only game, but I think they're coming out of the gate pretty hot. I think that's gonna be the first game they.
Okay, so you giving that one to
Yeah.
FSU? Okay, Mr. Spencer, what say you, sir?
I agree. I have more confidence in them than I think you might. I think they're going to be. I think they're gonna have some growing pains, but I think Norvell is going to get them going. And I think they're gonna start off this game, but I think like Collin, this is going to be a lot of hype, and they're not going to have as successful of a year as this game might lead people to believe.
Right.
But I think they get the W though. I think they win. FSU.
That's kind of what I'm going.
So both of you guys have FSU with the win. Huh. I am gonna have to. You know what? We'll make that one a try. We'll make that one a trifecta. I do think that Brian Kelly's gonna. I've been saying this. I do think Brian Kelly is going to do good things with the program, but he's got a lot of things to fix. It's like he bought a hoopty. It's like he's bought a hoopty that he's trying to. It's like the last Karate Kid where Jackie Chan was working on getting the car fixed. It's got a lot of stuff that needs to be fixed before they can get it up and running. All right, next up, we got Southern University comes to Baton Rouge. We mentioned that one also on September 10th. And Sean, I'll give this one to you first, sir.
It'll be tight until halftime, but LSU's going to win it.
All right. You think Southern's going to put up that much of a scrap fight, huh?
They got some swagger, man. I know you've been following their coach and all the things he's been saying on social media and how the players been playing up right. I'm telling you this right now. Like football is football at the end of the day, and I think Dion has rejuvenated the MEAC and the HBCUs. I think they're gonna put up some. I mean, Florida State was not great last year, obviously, but Jacksonville State beat them in their house. So. Like,
well, mind you, now this isn't Jackson State. This is Southern University.
No, it wasn't even Jackson State. It was Jacksonville State.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, that's a very different. They didn't do as well as Jackson State, and so that's why I'm saying those guys are playing up now, and we still got to remember that LSU, like you said, look just like with Texas last year, first year Sarkisian, it took him a while to get hit. I mean, they had a rough year. They lost to Kansas. I think this year I am very high on what they're going to do this year. I think the same thing with LSU. I think the latter part of the year they're going to shock some people, but I think these first couple weeks out the gate, it's going to be a little struggle. I think that first half, partially with figuring out who's a quarterback and partially with just them kind of getting the feel of Brian Kelly and everything, I think it's going to be a little tighter than, and may not tie, maybe by a one score ball game, but I think it's going to be a little tighter. I think Southern's going to show up, and I could be completely wrong. I mean, who knows? But I'm saying from what I've been looking at, I think it's gonna be tight early, and then it'll get bigger once the game goes on.
Yeah, I will give you this much though. I would love to be in the stadium to hear the two bands go at it because Southern's got one of the baddest bands in the country, and LSU's band is no slouch.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Now, granted, they kind of co-opted neck from the HBCUs, but they got a pretty decent band too. So, Collin, coming to you, what you got, Southern or LSU?
Yeah, I'm going with LSU. I think it all comes down to like Sean said. Did the culmination or the cohesiveness of the coach Brian Kelly and whoever they decided to be the starting quarterback. They do have good receivers. They did bring in a couple of good receivers. Their receiving core is okay, LSU. And so, I mean, they may have some growing pains first half, but I think they do pull away second half if they're behind. I mean, if they're close in the first half, I mean, they could blow them away. But I think it's going to be a game first half and second half. I believe LSU's going to pull away. So
speaking of receivers, this is the game that Keyshawn Butte is going to come out. He's a preseason All-American.
Yes.
He's going to show out, and I think by this time they'll at least have a quarterback that's going to be able to get it to him. And the difference in talent in this game from him to their corners, I think, is going to play a major factor in the second half of this ball game.
Yep, you're right.
Yeah, let's see. On my end, I'm going to come back around. You know what? I'm going to go out on a limb on this one. I say Southern University rolls into Baton Rouge and upsets LSU at home. I'm giving them an L.
Dig it.
Our buddy Will Kramer, we got a couple people watching on Facebook. For those of you that are watching and commenting, please know that I can see your comments, but I can't get to them because it doesn't give me the opportunity to see them and pin them. But we got our buddy Will Kramer saying the other half of Washington Football Weekly saying I'm good with Brian Kelly struggling. It's just a weird fit. Then he gives me a GTF. He just gave me a GTFO for my pick.
What kind of car is that?
Yeah, I know, right? That's that 67. That's that 67 with the 7th cylinder. My nephew Sean Smith is watching also. Young kid, but proud of what you're doing with your life, young man. Thank you for watching the show. He also jumped in and said FSU all the way on that first game pick there. So moving on to game number 3. The other Bulldogs, the great value Bulldogs of the SEC, Mississippi State, comes to Baton Rouge. And I am going to jump in first, and I'm going to say, for me on my column, this is their first W. Nothing more needs to be said. That's it. That's their first W. So let's see here. Collin, what you got?
I'll go with a W. I think LSU is going to win. Yeah, you're right. Nothing needs to be said. What you think, Sean?
Go ahead and do it. Oh, wait.
Giving them that L, man. I'm giving them that L, and it's all because of which coach is in there. Mike Leach has been there for a couple of years. He's got a system. Will Rogers, top 5 passing, passer a year ago. Again, going back to what I've been saying, I just think LSU is slow out of the gate. And I think this is going to be a good one, but I think Will Rogers and Mike Leach get the job done. I think Mississippi State gets them.
I think it's going to be a slugfest between an established team that has not quite gotten there yet and a team that is recuperating from is on the second year of a hangover from winning a national championship and then having their coach run out of town on a rail. So I think it's going to be a slugfest, and I think it's going to be close. That's why I say LSU. I wouldn't be surprised if this is one of those that comes down to a last-second field goal. That's where I'm putting that.
And the only reason I'm going against LSU is in my opinion, the running game. Because in my opinion, the only thing that's going to stop the passing game, you talked about that DB that's now out for the season. The only thing that's going to stop this 5 wide receiver air raid offense is keeping them off the field. And you need to have a viable running game to do that. As you saw, David Price is gone. Noah Kane, he's in there, but the other running backs at the early 2-game suspension. So this is going to be his first game back. So I think it's going to then with having the quarterback issues, and now coming your starter is 2 games, absent. He's still got to get his legs under him. I think it's going to be the air attacks will come in. That's the only reason I'm saying against it. Just the problems and the missing pieces that LSU is going to have early.
That's a fair assessment. I just
he's cussing me out for behind.
That happened last time on the show. He went on a whole 2-minute warning. Didn't hear a word of it.
Okay, Will Kramer. I'm doing a show right now. I'm not watching the Falcons game. I do not need you reporting to me that my quarterback is getting outrun by my tight ends. Okay.
There he is.
Yeah. That's what I said. First Pitts, now Firsker waiting on that ball to arrive. Hey, look, I told you, Falcons are going to Falcons. Like most realistic Falcons fans coming to the year going, I hope we just don't wind up being the embarrassment of the league. And then when we wind up going to the playoffs, like, we really going to the playoffs? And like the two times they went to the Super Bowl, we was like, what? They really won? Especially that first one because Minnesota was supposed to crush us. Anyway, moving on. Thank you, Will Kramer, for being a faithful watcher of This Week in SEC football. We'll find
He's
the
just waiting for
block.
South Carolina. He waiting for South Carolina. That's what he wants to talk to y'all about.
Oh, he want to talk
The
about South Carolina.
Gamecocks.
Okay, that's all right. Wait, I'm
That's
gonna have him. I'm gonna have him on, and we're gonna have some fun. We're going to have fun, sir, Mr. Kramer, you and I. We're going to become good friends. All right, moving on to our next game, New Mexico State. Sean, what say you?
I say that's a win.
And Mr. Collin, what you got, sir?
I shall agree with Mr. Spencer. That would be a win.
So nobody's got any confidence in New Mexico State upsetting the 2 year ago national champions, huh? I say upset like they still champions. Okay, we just keep moving in. All right, next game, October 1st at Auburn. And I am going to say that's a loss. Not that Brian Harsin is doing any great and wonderful things, but we all know that it is Auburn is a difficult place to get the job done, especially with a first-year coach. But by then, they should have their running back though. As a matter of fact, Sean, you were talking about that. John Emery should be back with the Mississippi State game. He's only facing 2 game suspension, so he'll be back by then.
Right.
So anyway, Auburn, I'm giving them an L. So Sean, what say you?
For the very reason that you said, that their running backs will be back, and then I think they'll have the struggle against Mississippi State, but I think New Mexico is no question. I think they're going to run through New Mexico, and I think they're going to be primed and ready. So I got them. I got them going into Auburn's place and getting that W. I'm going to say that they're going to get it done because Auburn's another team that I'm not.
You got it. Well, here's their biggest thing.
Here's the other. Do we have our old list? Because didn't we do Auburn before? So I don't know if I checked. So go back and see if I gave Auburn the W on that one.
You know what? You're absolutely right.
Yeah, I think that was the one that you were in.
So we gave, let's see, Mississippi State against LSU. I had Mississippi State losing that game against LSU. I had, are we playing Kentucky this year? We don't have Kentucky on the list. There's Texas A&M. That is South Carolina. There's Auburn. There we go. Thank you, sir. All right. Against LSU, we had Auburn winning I had LSU winning against Auburn. No, I'm sorry. We had Auburn beating LSU. I had them, and you didn't give us a thing because you were kind of bouncing in and out, and you missed some of them.
Oh, okay, that was that day. All right, I'll give LSU that victory then.
Okay, Collin, what you got, sir?
Did I have something last time or no?
I think we both went with we went on this one. We went pretty much game for game with the same, and we both had Auburn winning that one.
I'll stick with that. I believe Auburn's gonna do it. I'll stick with Auburn.
Okay. All right, moving on to the next game. The Mustard Throwers come to Baton Rouge.
Sean, did you see that?
Yes.
Sorry. that SEC
So what's in the bag? Nothing. That a whole case of French's mustard. All right, then I got. Let's see. I don't know. Let's see. I've got them with. For me, we had Auburn winning that game. Oh, let me change that. Yeah, that's an L. And you had them with an L. So I got Auburn losing that. I got LSU losing to Auburn. I at this point with Tennessee coming to town, I have them with 2 wins and 1 loss. I think they bounce back this game because I think they bounce back this game and pull a W that week. What say you?
How many games you have them plan up until the Tennessee game?
Okay, at this point with the Tennessee game, we're in week 6.
6, right? So they should have 5
Okay,
games.
I got them losing the first 2. I got them
Mm.
winning against Mississippi State. I got them winning against New Mexico State, and I got them losing to Auburn. But they're
2 and 3.
playing at Auburn. So I got them on a bounce back week against Tennessee. I think at this point they're really starting to find their identity. I think Kayshawn and Daniels will have found a rhythm. I think Emery will definitely be doing some damage. So I gotta win on this one. I gave LSU the win for this one.
Yeah, I'm down with that. LSU, I'll take a win for LSU on the mustard throws of Tennessee.
All right, Sean, what you got, sir?
I got really high hopes for Tennessee this year. Hendon Hooker, all them guys, I'm really banking on them to be good this year. So I kind of got them with the W on that one. So I got LSU with the loss just because I just really am high on Tennessee. So
Okay,
Like,
sure
you
you're not
send you some-
you sure you're not just high?
He's high on mustard.
Smoking that mustard seed.
I got that mustard seed.
Oh, but you know what? That's a different kind of high, because if you have faith the size of a mustard seed.
Come on now.
But then what happens if you crush the mustard seed and smoke it? Do you get extra faith?
I mean,
Is that how that works?
that's more mustard seed. Come on now.
I guess.
Come on now.
Now it's coursing through you. Now it's coursing through your veins. Is that detectable on a urinalysis? I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
That's Tennessee folk.
Look.
Get a little medicinal on
Timothy, Richard, Tebow. Don't get me started on Tim Tebow. That was a good sermon. I forgot about that till it popped back up in my memories. But we're not gonna go there. Next game is October 15th. They are going to the Swamp to play the Gators. Collin, what you got?
Where they go? Oh, they're in Gainesville.
Yeah.
As much as it pains me to do this, I think Florida's got them. Because I said before, I don't know. Check my last one. I think Florida's going to be better this year. I mean, not leaps and bounds from last year, but I think they're going. I'm kind of like you, Sean, with Tennessee. I'm not high on them or nothing like that. But I mean, I believe that Florida's going to be better than they were last year. So I do believe.
Shout out to our guy Kyle Yacy, jumps in the Facebook chat with that dank mustard seed. Ooh wee.
Good.
Yeah, he got that good. And Colin, apparently the Birds are winning 10-0 right now.
I'm watching them. I was gonna spoil it for you.
Why am I the only person in the whole trio that doesn't have a TV in the room so I can watch the games at the same time? It don't make no doggone sense.
Just wait till you see that dart that Mariota threw. I mean, that's
mine right there. Yeah, my TV right behind me. I ain't got it on though.
All right, Sean. What about you, sir?
I agree. I don't think they're going to be world beaters, but I do believe that Florida, led by Richardson, is going to have a decent year, better than last year. But I think this is one of the games they're going to win. I mean, look, we saw how this game went last year, so I have anticipation for this one. I'm very anxious to see how this plays out, but I got Florida with the W.
I'm just thinking the defense is going to be better with Napier and his defense coordinator. That's going to be a big game changer, in my opinion, from last year.
Let's see. We're going to make this one another holy triumvirate, and LSU gets the L. So far, ladies and gentlemen, it is not looking good for the Tigers from Baton Rouge, but we shall see, because we got more games coming. The next week, Mississippi, Ole Miss comes to town. I think this game is going to be a lot closer than it would have been if it were last year, with the Matt Corral going to the league. But I still think that I'm gonna go to you, Collin. I'm gonna think on this one a little bit.
Didn't we do Ole Miss? I can't remember if we did Ole Miss or not.
Oh, we did.
Huh?
I thought we did, didn't we?
Well, that one must be.
Comment on that one.
That one must be in the
I do
spreadsheet.
believe I picked Ole Miss, if I'm not mistaken. I think I picked Ole Miss on this one.
Okay, that one's
That
on the
was-
spread. That's on the spreadsheet.
I'll stick with Ole Miss. I'll go Ole Miss. That'd be a loss.
Same, Sean. Or are you still thinking?
It can go either way, but I think I'm gonna agree with you, Colin. I'm gonna agree with Colin.
I feel like I'm giving them a lot of losses.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. That's why I'm kind of like, because you lost Matt Corral. Now you got the running back from TCU, but then it's like, there's you can't replace all that on them yards.
Yeah, I mean Matt Corral.
And they lost their DC. They lost Durkin.
Yeah, and Durkin is now dinking and dunking. I knew I was gonna figure out a way to throw that in.
I had to throw that oop to you, man. Come on.
Hey, I got it. Here it comes. You put the Shaq Diesel on them, and we go have some Papa John's afterwards. Oh, I can still do that one with the horse.
There you go.
Okay, there you go.
Deep
Thank
boys,
you,
right?
Appreciate that. Appreciate that.
Oh man.
Look, we over here cutting up. Meanwhile, people are watching the show like, what the hell are they talking about?
What?
Hey.
All right, so I think we're gonna go here with that's another triumvirate, and the next one I think is going to be another triumvirate because that is when the Crimson Tide comes rolling into Baton Rouge, and yeah, that one I'm just gonna go ahead and put that L down.
Well, let me ask you this: you did say Southern was going to win, so should we reach now? You did say Southern, so I was like, no, but no, I'm not. Not this year. Maybe after Saban leaves. Not this year.
Nah, Saban. I told you, Saban is coming back with a vengeance. And if you go back and look at I've been saying it all season. If you go back and look at what happened in Alabama in the year after they lost in the playoffs or lost in the championship, they come back knocking heads.
Mm-hmm.
They come back like your boy Kurt Russell in Tombstone. Tell them I'm coming and I'm bringing hell with me, and that's what's good.
He's spreading massive amounts of bulletin board material that he ain't never spread before. I ain't never seen. He's making all these excuses. He's waiting for somebody to. He's waiting for somebody to just kind of not play to their caliber. He's gonna stomp everybody. I mean that's what their mentality is, guaranteed.
Well, that was that whole recruiting thing in the offseason. He was just getting them going early. He was getting his guys going early. Look, these guys got to buy their players. These guys got to do this. We have natural grown talent. And getting Dion in there to let them know, I see you, young man. I think that's what that was. He was saying, I see what you guys are building. You took the number one cornerback recruit. Okay, I got you. We're over here. Mm-hmm. That's why I'm saying they're not far off. I don't think I really don't think with that talent, and we're starting to – this is the first time since – before the color lines are broken, where that talent is making the decision to potentially go back to some of those HBCUs. And I think that eventually, once you get people like Dion in there, and you've seen, who's the guy from Ohio State? Eddie George coaching. There's another coach that came, and he's going to be coaching. There's a former player. People, they want to play for that. And if you could build a good team, Saban ain't going to be here forever. But I digress.
Oh yeah, and once Saban is gone, it's going to depend on who they get to coach at Alabama, and are they going to be able to maintain what they have going? I foresee a goodly amount. Depending on who the coach is, I foresee a goodly amount of decommits the year when he decides to retire.
Yeah, they got a lot of stuff stored up. They stored up like Joseph stored up in Egypt before when they said they had the 7 good years before the 7 bad years, my brother. Do we need to go back to the word since you brought the word up?
Yeah, you can store up all you want to. But it's just like when you go to a concert and find out the headliner everybody was going to see, and the janky promoter and waited till it's time for the headliner to come out and say, "Hey y'all, I know y'all paid a bunch of money to see Casey and JoJo, but they ain't here."
He gonna get somebody in there, and they gonna replace. It's gonna be one of his many assistants that's gonna eventually come back to
Absolutely.
take over his role. And
Watch it
and
be
so-
Fisher. That would be hilarious if Fisher went up in there. That'd be hilarious. Or
We'll see.
Kirby.
It's gonna be-
What if Kirby went?
I mean, come on, he's beat Alabama.
I
Now
can't
what's
see
the
him
only
doing
other
that.
thing you could do? Take
Yeah.
over. I mean,
That would be absolutely, like Eddie Murphy said, that would be something if Jimbo wound up coming back to coach at Alabama. Actually, as a matter of fact, I think that's what he's doing. Is he's kind of jockeying for a position. He's going to build up Texas A&M and build a good
I
resume.
think all of them are doing that. I think Kirby doing that too. I just don't think
I
if that
can't see him doing
opportunity comes to fill in the shoes that were once filled by Bear Bryant and then filled by Nick Saban, and you are his protege, I just think I don't know how many people could turn that down.
I can't see. I can't. I mean, I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it might not happen, but I really can't see Kirby after building what he's built at Georgia and beating Nick Saban. And you know what I'm saying? I don't see Kirby. I don't see him leaving.
Fans would have him, dude. They would have him dead to rights. Absolutely. I mean, he would move. I can't see him doing it though. I mean, that would be.
I mean, you see how they treat Vince Dooley. Vince Dooley only won one national championship, and he was a coach there for like close to 3 decades. Why would you leave a program where you will be a god for life? Because if you leave Georgia and go to Alabama and don't reproduce what you produced at Georgia or some semblance of what Nick Saban produced at Alabama, they have shown. You see how quick they got rid of cats when they came in and they couldn't do what Bear Bryant did.
I respect that, but that's under the assumption that he does not reduce. But let's be very honest. Who is he a spitting image of? He's a spitting image of the guy who taught him. Just like Jimbo. They have their quirks, they have their things that they do, but it's under the Saban tree. So it's just very hard for me to believe that if he were to fill in that role, he wouldn't already have things set up and already have it set. And look, half of the guys that are being recruited to go to Alabama are being recruited to go to Georgia as well. So it's not like he's not knowing the pool that he has. My whole thing is who knows? This is all speculation because A, Saban's not gone, and B, Smart is in a great situation. You know, he's coming off a national championship. He's not thinking about leaving.
Yeah,
but
just came off a national champ. I'm sorry, just came off a national championship and now is the highest paid D1 coach in college football.
You happy about that, huh?
Yes, sir.
You really excited about that?
Yes, sir. Give that. Hey, look, it's like that. It's like that movie. Give that man his money.
Yeah. All night long, check again.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Come on with it, Collin P from the DMV. You know what I'm talking about.
Absolutely. Give me some more.
I ain't never seen the movie, and I've heard the sound clip about 878 times. I know exactly. Pay that man his money. I can say that real good with this bad.
Is a man. John Malkovich is a dog. Come on now.
John Malkovich, a bad man, dude. All right, moving on. Before we get sidetracked and we start doing movie quotes. I have recently been placed in charge of garbage. Speaking of, Arkansas is LSU visits Arkansas. You see what I did? You see what I did there? Sean pulled that one out on me Friday night, man.
Watch this.
I forgot what we were talking about.
Didn't even tell you, man.
It was
even though 3 or 4 days ago.
Yeah. Hey, look, brother. Side note before we get to Arkansas, Kat, after having met her in person, is a lot taller than I thought she would be. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I mean, I'm not saying like she's like Sue Bird tall, but when I met her, I was like, hey, and I had to check, and I was like, man, her shoes ain't that thick. She's just tall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sandals on too. Yeah, you see her wear boots on. Mm-hmm.
You know, because anytime I meet a woman that's close to my height, the first thing I do is look and see what kind of shoes they got on. Not that I'm tripping or nothing. It's just that, you know, generally I'm taller than most of the women that I meet. So anyway, moving on. And please pass along to Kat our well wishes. Shouts out to all the teachers all across the nation that started school this week, last week, whenever. Our thoughts and prayers are seriously with you because they look, it's hard out there in these education streets for these teachers. I mean, the
Well,
number of yeah, we gonna get into. I'm gonna say it
no,
again.
no, I know. I'm saying our thoughts and prayers can go out with them next week. Look, I had to work all summer. She just got off vacation. You need to work. I love that.
There it is.
No. How many days
And
did she call me up at 3 o'clock in the afternoon? Hey, Sean, what are you doing? I'm at work. Oh, I'm on a boat. Ah! Really? That's click. Are you kidding me right now? No. I hope them kids are all loud. Ah! That will not be
that's how the fight got started.
right.
Look,
We're gonna see a hand. We're gonna see a hand come in and slap their headphones right up his head. Watch this.
look, cat gonna walk up on you right now during the broadcast. Watch this, pop.
You're just gonna see some mustard coming from like.
Oh goodness.
No, but I mean, in all seriousness, there are a lot of professions that are exceptionally honorable. I mean, our teachers are not paid nearly remotely what they need to be paid. We starting to see that the administrations are not really supporting the teachers the way that they need to be supported. The sheer amount of teachers that I saw on my social media feeds that were putting out GoFundMe's or Amazon links so that they could buy stuff for their classrooms was staggering. Like, I didn't realize it had become that big a thing that the teachers are having to pay for all of the stuff in their classrooms, not just like little stuff like maybe I want to get some gift packets together for the kids, but like simple stuff that the school should be giving them to,
That's the problem though, is that you're just now finding out about it. And I mean, I've been in the teaching field. She's been in this her 21st year. This has been going on for years, bro. Well, this is one of the hardest years to get teachers in there, and there was such a shortage of teachers because they're not being paid, they're not being compensated, they're not being helped. They took one of the assistant principals out this year because of the amount of the kids, and a lot of these kids are going to private schools and other little places, and the teachers are not being adequately compensated, but also they're not being given the amount of time it takes to plan. They're not being given. I mean, my fiance had to deal with different language training, they had to deal with epilepsy training, had to deal with sexual harassment, just all these different things that they got to deal with. And it's like you said, like people are just now becoming aware of it, and it's been going on for so long, and it's an awful thing.
Well, I guess one of the biggest reasons is that, for me, the awareness, social media, because all of my kids are now out of school, so and they have been out for some time, and then the schools that my kids go to, we never got any of those letters sent home like, hey, can you help do such and such? You know what I mean? So I never knew about these types of things, but social media does have does do some good things in terms of awareness. Now, I'm not talking about did you know that if you squeeze a pimple 3 times, you can turn off your iPhone, that kind of stupid stuff you see on TikTok. Like, I'm talking about real stuff. Like, seeing that to me was just, I mean, I had seen it before, but some of the teachers, some of those folks that were teachers, I knew where they taught and what districts they taught in, and those districts didn't have a lot of funding. But just, I mean, like from Arizona to Northern Virginia to Florida to New York to California, even as much money as they got in California, all over the place. So to our teachers, we do it. We appreciate y'all. We really, really, really do. Seriously. So thank you for helping to try and mold the minds of our young people that are coming up. Okay. Wait a minute. Hold on. We gotta hit the reset. All right. Arkansas. LSU travels to Arkansas, to Fayetteville, to take on the Razorbacks.
What did we say last time? Didn't we cover Arkansas before? Didn't you guys cover Arkansas?
We did. I had Arkansas with the win on that one.
I don't think I did I? Or did I?
I don't remember. So you go ahead and tell me now.
Did I? I think I did. No. I'll go LSU. I'll go LSU with the win.
You got LSU with the win? Okay. Collin stepping out on that branch. That's faith the size of the mustard seed.
I mean, you can't. I mean, they had 2 losses in a row on my side, so yeah, they got to come out with a win.
And what about you, Sean?
Well, I said they're going to lose to Ole Miss, right?
You did, yes.
And then I say Florida was going to beat them.
You gave, yeah. So far they got so far you got them losing 4 games straight, going all the way back to Tennessee, because you're high on Tennessee and the mustard seed.
I say they pull this one out. I say they get this because you got so many. I mean, they're just going to be rearing to go, and I think Arkansas is going to be doing really well, and this is going to really mess up their bowl season. I think LSU is going to get that W. I just can't see them losing 5 straight.
No, that's why I figured I had them losing 3 or 2, at least 2.
Well, shoot. Well, just so you know. Oh no, there's more games here. I'm sorry. There's a couple more. There are just 2 more. Unless you have them winning the next 2, by your schedule, they're not going to be bowl eligible. By your prediction.
Yeah, well, I'll say it at the end of the day.
But just so you know, the next game is against UAB, and I really don't see them losing to UAB.
No.
So I'm going to give them
if I'm not mistaken, they were 11-1 a year ago, but they lost a lot of pieces, so I'm not going to agree. I mean, I am going to agree. They're not going to beat, or UAB's not going to win that. But college football's back. We'll see what happens this year. But I got LSU winning this.
Yeah. And what about you, Collin?
Yeah, I agree. LSU's got to win.
Okay. Collin, I already have ours for Texas A&M. We both had Texas A&M winning, so that's a loss from Collin and a loss from me. And Sean, we never got your answer on that one.
I think I'm not mistaken, I gave it to Texas A&M.
Woo, boy. Good gracious. Brian Kelly, according to the 3 of us, let's see who gave out the most wins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Collins got him bowl eligible. 3, 4, 5. You got him with 5 wins, and I got him with 4 wins.
Ooh.
Wow, that's a bleak outcome right there.
I think they're going to be the Texas of this year. I think they're going to be what Texas was a year ago. Go 5-7, lose some games they probably should win, but I think they're a year or 2 out of it.
Big expectation with little to show for it this year. Good gravy. That is an awful lot. Wow. LSU, Brian Kelly, Godspeed to you, sir. We for your sake, we hope that you prove us wrong, but we don't really. It looks like we don't have a lot of faith in the LSU Tigers this year. Maybe
watch out for that UAB game. They were 11-1. They were 9-4 a year ago. They won the bowl game and everything. So watch out for that UAB. So that might be was how we look. We both have them losing multiple games in a row, and you got them losing to Southern. So they might slip up and just totally nosedive that last couple of weeks.
Well, I mean, I want to show some love to the smaller schools, and I think Southern could. I mean, it's just, I got them losing to Southern. None of us has them with winning over 500. So, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You can't put that all on me. You're just gonna put it all on me like my fault. You said they was gonna lose to Southern, that's why they went 4-8.
I got the one game out of a bowl.
Yeah,
one of those. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see.
So, folks, appreciate you all joining us this week in SEC Season 2, Episode 20. We are 20 episodes into this season, and we have yet to begin the official college football season, but that is right around the corner. Our guest today, the one, the only shout-out king, the king of the Smiling Point. Look, you've been hanging around Dylan too long. You like to you just started throwing jabs out there. You just like Mike Tyson, just come up and just step back. He gets a few jabs in. The one half of the founding foundation of the Let's Talk Football family. Of course, the other half, Big Janae Struther, Congrats to Janae on the addition to the family. Beautiful baby girl. Lots and lots of shows and Let's Talk Football family. How many shows, Anthony? I'm glad you asked. So take a look and see. Yes, sir. I like that Georgia Bulldog helmet on that last
Yes,
show.
sir.
I think them guys might know a little something about them dogs right there. That is the entire slate of shows from the Let's Talk Football family, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. So you got no excuse for not catching a show because it's one on doggone there every day of the week and sometimes 2 and 3 on the same day. And sometimes hours can take up the space of 2 shows. Having said that, we're going to move into our final segment, which is the 2-minute warning. You're supposed to pop up on the screen there. There we go. The 2-minute warning. That is the time of the show where we just kind of share our thoughts on various and different things. Sometimes it can be upbeat. Sometimes it can be introspective. Sometimes it can be funny. Sometimes, unfortunately, it can be sad. I'm going to go ahead and pop this off. I mentioned earlier that it was good to see you guys this past weekend. It was awesome. Sean, it was great to finally get an opportunity to meet you or at least reacquaint because we looked like we crossed paths at some point in a past life before I moved out here. Collin, my boy, it was good to see. I got to say that like I'm from Buckhead. Collin, what's up, my boy? How you doing? My boy. What's going on? Like Country Wayne. What up, boy? How you doing?
What up,
so it was what up, cuz? It was good to see you, man. It really was.
Oh, yeah.
And Sean, the funny part was it was a dude, there was a Bama fan that was there. And he didn't know I was a Georgia fan because I had on all my black and gold with my big fedora. Which, by the way, I looked a lot doper on me than I thought. I thought I was going to look like an old dude trying to look young. I just looked like a dude, a cool dude at that. Although when I turned to the side, when I saw the video and I turned saw myself turn to the side of the video, I was like, I got to do a few more crunches. But anyway, I digress. But we gave that dude the blues. And then after a while, he just tuned us out. We would just go by the table with an earshot and just go dog, sicker.
He definitely shook my hand and looked me dead in the eye. I'm like, all right, man.
He's like,
finally let us get you.
Yeah.
I hope you guys do it again. You guys have made it. You guys have made a target on y'all back.
Oh yeah.
20 episodes deep going hard. Oh, I respect it. I absolutely respect it.
Well, in the words of the late great Omar Little, if you come for the king, you better not miss. That's all I got to say. That's all I got to say. Now, I'm not trying to get too cocky. I'm just enjoying the moment because we don't get too many of these. I'm 52 years old. I have seen 2 World Series wins and 2 college national championship wins and a whole racketing of early exits from the playoffs. So I'm enjoying this moment while we got it. We are on top of the world. Anything is possible. My defense is impregnable. My offense is impetuous. My style is impetuous.
Mm-hmm. My back is broken. Spinal.
That's how I felt about my voice. My voice is broken. What kind of injury was it? Spinal.
Local.
I take your heart. I take your heart. I eat your kids.
I eat your kids.
I eat your kids. Anyway, so just my 2 minute warning today is stop it, Skip. My 2 minute warning to look, y'all keep messing with me. I'm gonna start asking for restitutions. My 2 minute warning is just put some time aside. Put some time aside. That was the biggest thing we talked about the whole weekend was it's been too long since we've seen each other, and we need to do this more often. So just kind of put some time aside, especially with the folks that you are geographically close to, and just kind of, hey, let's have some coffee. Hey, let's go grab something to eat. Let's go get some people together, go play some softball or something non-athletic if you're not athletic, whatever. Just get a group of people together and do some stuff. Because, unfortunately, we also had a memorial this weekend, and the time to show, and there were a lot of people at that memorial that I am sure had not seen our mutual dearly departed friend in ages or called him or talked to him or anything like that. And, when they're gone is not the time to let them know how you feel about it. So just get together with your folks and build some memories. That's it. Because you'd be surprised what that could do for you. I told you guys both about what a time I was having at work, how I was going stir crazy being in the house, and I don't do anything but go to work, and I come home. But then when I'm at home, I work, and then I'm doing yard work. And, the podcast was really my own podcasting, and going to the little store around the corner was my only outlet. So this was good for me. I was at work today, even though I was tired. I was in a great mood. Hey, how y'all doing? Good to see you. Yada yada. Bing bang boom. So that's my 2 minute warning. Just take some time and block some time out to be with the people that you care about. And that's all I got in the words of Shay Shaw. Coming to you, Collin. You up next.
Yeah, I can. I like to piggyback. Yeah, no, it was great to see you, man. It was great to see. Who was there? Black Jesus was there. You had Cowboy. I mean, Dante. Obviously, I've seen him a lot. Saw some people I haven't seen in a very, very, very long time, including yourself. But yeah, I'll piggyback on that. I mean, get out and do something that makes you happy, and which leads me into in the wake of football season. I mean, I'm very ecstatic. Like I'm probably not as ecstatic as Sean down there, but I'm pretty close. But I'm ready for college football to start. That's going to be, one of the things on my radar and one of the things on my schedule every Saturday. I do actually, I enjoy college football a little bit more than the NFL, but I do like them both, and I watch NFL. But I guess the subject of my 2 minute warning: do things that make you happy. I mean, if you're in a rut, I mean, like do things you haven't done, step out the box, step out your comfort zone, that kind of stuff. But if you like sports or anything like that, don't miss a beat. Don't miss a chance to enjoy your sports and watch them and that kind of stuff. Watch them with friends. I mean, if you like, I've been trying forever to watch a Bama game with Georgia Bama game with Daryl. Daryl won't do it though. He won't watch a game with me in Alabama. But I think maybe that'll come around. But yeah, just do things and enjoy yourself. If you're going through a rut, hey man, do something different. That's all I can say. I mean, that's basically what I got for 2 minute warning. But good to see you, my friend. I was happy to see you this weekend or this Thursday.
Yes, sir. Much love. All right, Mr. Spencer.
RIP Luke Knox, the brother of Dawson Knox. Dawson Knox is a tight end for the Buffalo Bills. Luke Knox played at Ole Miss for 4 years and then transferred to, I believe, the FAU, one of those Florida schools, and they found him deceased. So definitely pray for that family. I know Dawson's going to be playing for him this year. Pray for one of my guys that I used to coach with, very close to me. Him and his family our families are very close. Similar situation, and he passed away a couple weeks ago. So the funeral's on Thursday. I want to send our prayers up to Oliver's son. What is his first name? Oh, I have it over here. No, I don't. Give me 1 second. I've been talking about this a lot. Easton, Oliver's son. Young man had played Little League baseball. He was on, the Little League travel teams or whatever. And around this time is World Series time and everything. He made it to the team and they was going to the World Series. And he was asleep in the top bunk of a bunk bed and fell out and fractured his skull. He was in a coma for a while, and then he's now kind of relearning how to walk and relearning how to eat and everything like that. is bringing all his family and his team together. The Major League Baseball has really did a big part in just kind of helping the family and being with them. So definitely send your prayers that way. Um, so definitely don't want to forget and or neglect any of those that, like you guys are saying, that means something. Or just it's anything. Just this weekend was a good thing. It was a good time. You saw everybody. Even if it was coming together at one point for the memorial, you're still in a place where you're seeing everybody and getting to be together. So that's always great. And then Colin's point, hey, there's 11 games next week. You know what I mean? 7 earlier in the day, and then there's about 4 night games. And if you're looking for top seed talent, Ohio State, Alabama, Georgia, you ain't gonna get it this weekend. You're getting the Utah States and the Illinois and FAU and UTEP and stuff like that. But like Colin said, hey, if you just love the hike and the hits and the whole, go ahead and tune in, and you're gonna have some good ones. Couple that I want to shout out, obviously my North Carolina Tar Heels. We play FAMU. Anybody, I know yeah. FAMU was pretty solid a year ago. I believe they were 9-3, had like a 6-game win streak a year ago, so they're no slouch. UNC obviously lost their top tier quarterback, Sam Howell, who's in Washington. A number of their other guys, but they're returning 101 receptions, and Josh Downs, who's one of the top receivers in the league a year ago. So definitely want to tune into that one. And Alabama, what was it? Nebraska Northwestern is a good one, and Florida State versus Duquesne. We talked about Florida State. Definitely that first, getting that one against LSU. I think this one, we saw what happened against Jacksonville State a year ago. So Florida State guys has to win this. If they don't win this one, then we might have to revisit those rankings on that. Because I think I know you and I said they were going to win it. Or we might have all three said they were going to win it. And
where's it at? Is it Tallahassee, or where's it at? Where's the game at? Is it Duquesne?
Well, this week is at Tallahassee. I don't know about the one against LSU. Is that in Baton Rouge?
No,
the LSU game is in Baton Rouge.
And in Baton Rouge, yeah. So yeah, we shall see. It's not that far from them, but still, Baton Rouge that's a place to play. You guys know about that one. So yeah, football is absolutely back, and I'm like you. I mean, I love, beyond everything else, I love my Washington Commanders, but still it's not easy to say. At least you guys have one name in Falcon. But college football by far dwarfs NFL for me, because you just never know what's going to happen, and you can rely on the unpredictable, and that's why I come each and every week. So I am excited. I am thrilled. I cannot wait. I am just chomping at the days. One day is gone. Tuesday, I'm ready for that to go, because Saturday morning, man, we're doing it. Hey, Saturday morning, let's talk college football. Myself, Alex Lewismore, Kate Allerson. We're going to do something, give a little preview of that stuff. So, and definitely, you guys, always got the green light. Come on in there. Definitely when Georgia, or any SEC team comes in.
You gotta have your boys from Georgia on to talk about stuff. I was trying my throat did good. You did good. Hang on in there. We just got a couple more minutes. It's all right.
Come on, baby.
Man, Shaq, you terrible.
But oh man. Well, gentlemen, it has been a good show. We did go a little bit longer than we intended, but it did turn out to be a great show. Thank you, Mr. Sean Spencer. A big thank you to you for joining us today on This Week in SEC Football. We appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're going to get out of here. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe. All that stuff helps with the algorithm. We will be back next week with another episode of This Week in SEC Football. So on behalf of myself, Mr. Fingaz from Zagnam Central, I think I'm going to be known as you got the Shirtless Wonder on Washington Football Weekly. I will be from here and forevermore the Voiceless Wonder. And my man Collin P from the DMV. We are OUWT out. Y'all be good. Go Dogs.
Cardio.
it.